welcome everyone. Thank you for coming. It's that time of year, isn't it? It's that special time. It's getting really close to Halloween, and I'm starting to get the blues because it's almost over, but I'm enjoying the season to its fullest. I plan to continue enjoying it. Thank you for tuning in on my little update here as I figure out what this YouTube channel is going to end up being. I'm still in those awkward phases of what do I do with this. There's a lot of editing and kind of cool stuff I see out there, but I have to keep it kind of simple due to my time restraints, but here I am nevertheless. I invite you to have a cup of coffee with me. This is a Saturday morning on October 26th. And I just thought I'd fill you all in on what I've been up to as I've posted in my Instagram stories and whatnot. I did some prints for this season to sell at Haunted Overload, and they're also available for purchase. Just direct message me and I can ship them out to you as well. And I said I would be doing a little bit more of an in-depth look at some of the works that I've created for this season. So that's what this is, and I'll have a sip of my coffee and you have a sip of yours. Today I'm enjoying a blueberry coffee with a little bit of pumpkin spice creamer in there. I'm not a purist, not when it comes to coffee, unfortunately. I always wanted to be the Dale Cooper of the world, just have that black, have that badge of honor of I don't know, that stoic badge of black coffee honor, but I'm a little dandy and I enjoy nice cream, so cheers to you. All right, so here we go. I got a little itinerary here. I'm sorry if this is a little bit awkward, but I'm trying something new. And new things are always awkward. All right, what I've been up to, I've talked about that. So first and foremost, I want to put out a shout out to South of Sanity Candles and Virgil at South of Sanity. He did a lovely review of one of my paintings that he purchased, and I highly suggest you check out his channel if you're into the spooky stuff. He is as well, and he is a candle aficionado, and that's basically how he and I got in contact, because I too am a candle enthusiast, as you can tell from my shirt here. Shout out to Shane Carlson out there. And I was a fan of Virgil, and I got some of his wax melts and I was completely blown away by them. And I started following him on Instagram, and in turn he followed me, and he saw that I had a painting available that he enjoyed, and he purchased it. And I'm very grateful he did, because he did a lovely review on it and a review of some of my other creative pursuits as well. And I invite you to check that out on his channel. In fact, I'm enjoying one of his scents right now. Right now I have in the melter Pumpkin Bonfire, which is absolutely amazing. I have a plethora of his wax melts, which I've yet to find a dud in the bunch, especially if you like spooky scents. It's absolutely amazing. This one, oh man, it's like, there's a hint of cinnamon in there, but there's also like definitely a smokiness to it. You got that gourd, that pumpkin meat smell. Oh, can't talk enough about South of Sanity Candles, and that's because I am a fan, a big time fan. So again, shout out to them. And so I'm going to go over the prints that I had available, and I still have available. They're all 11 by 14 prints, and I did a print of the painting that Virgil had purchased. And I'll show that to you here. I still got it here. this is that. And this is named Moonlit Jack, and that's a shout out to Virgil's fans on his channel. They decided to name it. I did not have a name for this. Sometimes I love naming paintings sometimes because they can kind of create their own atmosphere with adding a name. But with something like this, it's kind of like, so, jack-o'-lantern. But there is an atmosphere to it, and the fans picked up on that. Unfortunately, look at all this glare here. Well, I'm doing the best I can. It's my little rig here. But yeah, I've been working on this one for over the course of a couple years. I finished it this year. And what can I say about it? Well, I'm definitely inspired by the moonlit glow behind the jack-o'-lantern. I'm thinking a full moon on a Halloween night, and you've got that decay of autumn below it, and it's casting its light on all that autumn goodness, all those crushed leaves, which we have plenty of this time of year. I've refused to rake my lawn yet, so it's a conscious thing because I actually really enjoy looking at all the leaves. In November, I'll definitely take care of it so it doesn't get too bad in the spring, but I enjoy the sound of the crunch. I love the look of, they're all still colorful outside, and that's what they are here. They got your yellows and your reds and stuff, and I just wanted to bring this jack-o'-lantern alive amongst that foliage and give it that unearthly glow. Like, is it conscious? Does this jack-o'-lantern know me? Does it know my thoughts and secrets? Can it tell me a tale of the future? We don't know. Possibly it can. I've had a lot of fun working on this, and it's one of my favorite autumnal pieces. And I am sad to see it go out of my own collection because I actually had it hanging up this year in a nice spot, and it had a nice light on it, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I'm glad that Virgil has it and he can enjoy it, because I try to make my art for me, but I make it more so other people can enjoy it as well. So I'm glad it has a happy life outside of the confines of my tomb. All right, so we can move on. So this 10/31, of course, commemorating the day Halloween. I'll simply title it 10/31. And this is kind of a reappropriation of a painting I've done that sits in my living room. It's actually within the confines of a coffin-shaped surface. It's one of those wooden coffin-shaped surfaces I think you can get at a craft store. At least they sold them last 2 years. I don't think I've seen any out this year. It was gifted to me by my wife, and in August of last year, I painted this motif. However, this has been appropriated to fit the confines of a 11 by 14 print. So this is actually, I enjoy this a little bit more, to be honest. So what I ended up doing is I took a photo of the painting I did, and I brought it into Procreate, and I moved the jack-o'-lantern up to fit a little closer, because in the actual painting, I think I'll try to splice what the actual painting looks like to decide. It's much lower because the skeleton is holding it lower, and then there's a whole motif at the bottom with some bats and stuff, because it goes on and there's leaves and bats. And I have this have this tree coming out of the skeleton, so that kind of the earth is reclaiming its own vibe to it. And I've got the leaves coming down and give it that October feel that we're all so fond of. But yeah, I added a lot more to it once I brought it into Procreate. I put more leaves in here, I put more leaves falling down. I was able to get a little bit more detail in, because I wasn't confined to the restraints of the original surface. This painting was actually done in acrylic, which I don't do a lot of acrylic paintings, but given that it was kind of more of a craftier surface, I figured, it's a good opportunity to give it a shot. I really enjoyed how it came out, but I really enjoy this version of it. I actually added a little bit more detail to the pumpkin down here, and this is definitely one of my favorites of my own works that I've done recently. And I plan on actually then bringing this into an oil painting, redoing this once more, because I really like the motif of the skeleton with the jack-o'-lantern and the trees coming out of the skeleton. Inspired by Haunted Overload as well. In the mansion, they have a tree going through the mansion, and that's such a clever idea, and I'm sure I was inspired by that, though at the time when I created it, it just felt natural. I just like, okay, I want a skeleton, and I just all of a sudden started drawing a tree going through it, and a little window into that world. Again, these are available. Feel free to direct message me either through YouTube or Instagram at Todd Kramer Art, or on Facebook. I have a Facebook page I very rarely use, but my personal page I use fairly often, but my art page I should keep up more, but that is Todd Kramer Art on Facebook as well. So that is the origin story of this particular print. All right, so we got through. Okay, now we're going to go to more Haunted Overload centric works here. So again, the genesis of all this is that I am selling prints at Haunted Overload this year in the merch booth. I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and so far it's been going very well. I'm very excited to see the response, and we're about at the last half of the season now. We got 2 shows this weekend, and then I believe they're doing some in November. Unfortunately, I probably won't be a part of those shows, but I am finishing out this weekend for sure. And so just a brief history on me and Haunted Overload. I've started haunting at Haunted Overload back in 2010. That's when they first set up at the Dermot Hill Farm in Lee. I somewhat helped in that beginning phase of construction, very minimal. I think at the time I was working part-time, and so I tried to, and we only had one car at the time, so I tried to help here and there, but I didn't do any of the big building at all. I just kind of helped with a couple monsters here and there, and it was a lot of fun, but as time went on, I couldn't help with the construction nearly as much, so I just basically more of an actor there. I try to do at least 6 shows a season. That gets you a t-shirt. So it's all volunteer, and we're volunteering for the Humane Society, so a lot of the proceeds go to the local animal shelters, so that's a huge plus, and it's such a great community they have over there of other actors that are animal lovers and also, like-minded people, and it's very special to me because as you get older, you don't see your friends nearly as much, and you don't get out as much, and I'm pretty much an introvert, and I would be happy if I was just left in this space all day long and I could just create, but introverts get a little lonely sometimes, so it's kind of like a perfect spot for me to see other like-minded people. It takes a special person to scream at strangers in the woods in a particular time of year, and they have a great community of people that are like-minded like that. How many times I'm going to say like-minded? It's amazing how self-conscious you can get when you're videoing yourself here. But I digress. So yeah, it's been over 10 years, probably about 14 now. It's pretty much a fixture in this half of my life, and so I'm, it's great to have them open up and have this merch booth, and me being an artist, it's a nice opportunity to kind of to show some of my spookier works, which, let's be honest, most of it would be deemed spooky, I guess. So that leads me to, this is a rendition. This is part of their queue line. And this is, some of you may have seen some of this online. It's this huge facade skull that they have. I wish I knew the specs on it as far as how large it actually is, but I mean, it's not far off from this print. So to scale, I have a ghoulish creature there. And that's basically about right. If someone were to stand there, that's as large as it would seem. And as I've said in a previous video, these facades kind of go through phases. They kind of change. One year they had two kind of jackal skeletons here, or kind of wolf skulls on either side. And I think the mainstay so far has been these jack-o'-lantern reapers, so I definitely incorporated that. And then there's Pumpkin Alley. So this does look down on like hundreds and hundreds of real jack-o'-lanterns, which Haunted Overload volunteers carve each and every year, and they re-up them every week because they rot throughout the week. So it's such a magical thing to see, and I definitely wanted to try to capture that as best as I could. So this is an oil painting I did, but there was a bit of a snag in it. So I was kind of rushing to get these out because there's a little ambiguity if I was going to be able to sell prints or not. So I kind of was holding back a little. I did have this idea to do this particular piece, but I just wanted a little bit more reassurance that I could sell the prints of it. But anyway, I got that reassurance, so I started working on it diligently, and looks like my screen went dark here. Let's make sure we're still recording. All right. So I got the go ahead. Yeah, we can sell some prints. I'm like, fantastic. So I started painting this. I started it off with acrylic and then moved to oils, and everything was going great. I have some time lapses, which maybe I'll splice in here as I'm talking. And then I was officiating a wedding over the weekend, and we had someone watch our son as we were doing that. And one of my son's friends took it upon themselves to paint on the painting. So when I come back and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna finally finish this painting. It's Sunday. I got all day Sunday. I'm gonna definitely work on this and finish it. And there was all this splatter and different acrylic and oil all mixed all on top of it, and so that definitely set it back. So I scraped off what I could and painted back into it, but I realized I do not have enough time to finish it all. So I took a photo of it from where it was, and then I brought it into Procreate and finished it off in Procreate. Because after all, the purpose of the painting was to make prints of it. That said, I would like to finish the actual painting itself, because obviously that's where my true love lies. But Procreate is an amazing program on the iPad for artists, and it feels like you're painting when you're working in it. I mean, as much as it can, it being a screen and a little pencil. It's quite an amazing program, and it is a lot of fun, and it's kind of freeing to be able to like sit upstairs with your family and watch a movie and just flush out a painting, and not have to clean up. And again, I can't sing its praises enough. That said, there's no substitute for real physical media. and painting itself. That is always and forever will be my one and true love. But what a tool it is to be able to do that. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Of course, there are things I would like to work into further, but for the time I had to finish it, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. And these are going pretty well at Haunted Overload, and these are available again. Just message me if you would like this copy. So this is the skull at Haunted Overload. Okay. And now for oh well, it'll be fine. The mansion. This is a painting that I had an idea of doing for a while. The mansion at our Abandoned Hall or Aberdeen Hall, I still don't understand. I'm just not very good at names. But anyway, we'll just call it the mansion for now. The Haunted Mansion at Haunted Overload is such an icon of Haunted Overload, or it's become such an icon. And it's been seen all through various different social media channels, Pinterest and stuff. So a lot of people think it's a real place, which is great. I think that I love that lore of it. It is a real place, but it's not, from antiquity or anything like that. It's just such an amazing facade that they've built. They actually built a real haunted mansion on the grounds there. It's a house. It's a straight up house with wood. I mean, it's real. And you can go inside it. Actually, this season I've had my best night so far. They didn't have anyone in the mansion last Saturday, and I got the best scares I've had all season in this house, and it's so much fun. And it's such a beauty. And so it was a joy to paint. So I did this painting over the summer when I first started thinking, oh yeah, maybe I'll sell some prints at Haunted Overload. I am sold out on this print at Haunted Overload. I had to do another run, so I'm going to bring that up there today. I do have, so when I did the other run, I have some more available, so if anyone wants a copy of this, just message me. But it's by far my most popular one of the series that I have here. And this one is not touch Procreate at all. This is just a straight up photo of the painting. And I'm pretty excited how it turned out. I enjoyed painting it, and I don't get tired of looking at it either. I really love this painting. I really love it. And it really gives you that vibe. Now that said, I did take some artistic liberties. Now when you're actually there, it's a lot more cooler tones. Like it's a lot more grays and blues and stuff. But I really wanted to have it in that Halloween orange and black motif. And of course I got the gray of the house to kind of set it off a little bit more. And that too has been under a lot of different iterations. Like they don't have this fence anymore, but at one point they did. I really liked how it kind of led you through this trail, so I compositionally put that back in. And they do have these gravestones leading up to it. They still have that. But it is such a vibe. It's such an atmosphere. And if there's anything, any one focus of my work, I would like to say it's atmosphere. And this does that for me. So this is the mansion at Haunted Overload. And so those are the offerings I have for my hand-created works, but I also have this collage I made of all the actors. Now I do this every year. I go through the haunt before the show and sometimes a little bit afterwards, and try to take as many photos of the actors as I possibly can. because again, it's just great to see everyone, and I love to see what everyone comes up with as far as their costumes go, and it's always inspiring to me. And I just want to have an opportunity to showcase that. I share all my photos on our private Facebook page through the Haunt, so everyone can share them amongst themselves and share them to their friends, and everyone can see what everyone's been up to. Because sometimes you don't see every actor when you're there. You go to your spot or what have you, and you may not see everyone, and you might say, wow, look at that person. It might inspire someone to like, oh, maybe I'll do that with my makeup this time, or something. So it's really cool to see what everyone's up to, and when there's plenty of real professional photographers that go through and take amazing photos. I just use my iPhone, and I put them into Lightroom, and I tweak them as best I can, and I try to give it a little bit of an artistic flair as much as I can through an iPhone and whatever digital mediums I'm using to kind of develop that photo. But at the end of the year, I like to put everything together in one big collage, and we have a cast party, and I give out as many as I can. I usually do a run of 50 or so and give them out first come, first serve. And it seems to be, everyone seems to enjoy that, and which I'm grateful for. And I figured I'd put it on offer at the merch booth as well, because I have some of these in my office at work, and my coworkers will come in and look at them, and it's always like kind of like a wow, that's cool, or it's like a Where's Waldo of different like, oh, look at this one, or look at that one, look at this one. It's a lot of fun to just kind of go through and check it out. But that's on offer, and it's a lot of fun to look at it. I can always look at these things. I've done like 4 or 5 of these over the years, I think. I forget when I first started. I think I started in 2017 making these collages, maybe 18. But again, it's a lot of fun, and it's great to see everyone in one little page here. So that concludes what I've been up to as far as the spooky season with different offerings. This is the time of year I'm going to be creating, and I am excited. After Halloween, when we get into November, December, January, February, all of the cold months. I used to not like the cold months. Now I love them because it's just an excuse to stay in the basement and work on paintings. And I've got so many ideas and so many things I want to do, both painting-wise and musical-wise. It's just like I am bursting at the seams. It's almost too much. Because you go through your day-to-day life and all you think about is all the things you want to be making and creating. And then you go home and you're exhausted. You can't do any of them. But I will be doing some of them, or all of them, because I'm pretty motivated and I feel pretty good right now. So I have hopes for the future. And I'll leave you also with some By Candlelight news. By Candlelight is the musical project that I've been working on. I am being featured in Metrodome magazine in Boston this in the November issue, and I'm very, very excited for that. It's a kind of like a magazine that they'll have at music shops and stuff like that. I'm on the cover with 3 other people, and they'd have a nice little feature spread on my work in there, and I'm very grateful for that opportunity, and I'm very excited. So if you're in the Boston area and you see Metronome magazine and see my bald head on there, wiggling around a white guitar, that's me. And if you want to pick it up, that'd be great. So I'm pretty excited about that, and I'm grateful for that opportunity. And as you may have seen in the intro, if I did it, if I had time to do it, I did a Haunted Overload inspired instrumental that I put out recently. It's on all my music's on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, all that junk, all that stuff. No, it's great to have music so readily available for everyone to kind of stream at their will, and I'm grateful to be doing that, and I've been having some great responses on that, and I'm excited for that. But yeah, Abandon Hall, Aberdeen Hall, whatever you want. That's the name of it. A Lullaby of Woe, and that last part of that title, Lullaby of Woe, is a shout out to the dark art fair that I participated in the spring, which was called Lullaby of Woe. And I originally wrote that piece inspired by that because it was all dark artists. And I was very excited to be a part of that, and it was such a great success as far as I'm concerned. And again, like Haunted Overload, it was great to be around so many artists that have similar interests and similar I lost my train of thought. Anyway, you get it. It's great to be around like-minded people and see their work and see all the incredible talent in that one room. Yeah, so I was inspired by that, and I kind of created this kind of haunting kind of theme melody, and originally I was going to kind of do a little video with that music in the background that kind of showcased the work I would be showing there, but I ran out of time. But then as I was working on these prints and stuff, I was thinking, oh, and also for the videos I want to be posting, I wanted to have some music that I could play in the background that kind of adds to the ambience. And I was like, oh, what about that Lullaby of Woe thing? So I opened it up. I was like, wow, yeah, this is a little bit more developed than I thought. So I added a few more pieces to it and finished it up and put it out. So that's something I have out. I have a handful of other songs in the works that are coming out soon. Right now I'm releasing everything as singles, just because it's a bit easier or digestible to do that at this time. I'd love to do just pure album format, but that's just a block of time, and I feel like I would never get it finished because I would just tweak and tweak and tweak for everything to fit just right. And I think at this stage in the game, I just need to get stuff out there. And yeah, so By Candlelight, check it out. It's my music. It's on all the streaming services. Make sure to add it to your playlist. Add it to your Christmas playlist. There's nothing like singing ho ho ho, jolly jolly, jingle bells, and listening to me scream over some distorted guitars and pontificate about the daily musings of being alive in the world we're in. Happy holidays. Anyway, all right. I think that's quite enough. Thank you very much. If you made it this far, you get a gold star for the day. I'm gonna tell you. I'm only gonna do this as one take because I'm just gonna I'm probably not gonna watch this back because I'm just gonna listen to all my ums and uhs and all the repeated words or misphrasings I might say, and just kind of want to burrow in a hole and hope no one ever sees me again. But I'm trying to learn to let things be as they are, and maybe if I get to a point where I do that enough, I will then be able to refine things so they get a little bit more concise or precise with the messages I want to send out into the ether. Anyway, thank you so much. I love you all. Like, subscribe, I guess that's what they say on these things. And until next time, happy Halloween.